Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. Once again, coming from our palatial, gigantic. I mean, this place is huge. It can't tell on camera, but it's like the studio is like 22,000 square feet or something like that. Maybe?
No.
A little bit less than that?
A little less. You don't ask me. I am not the good person to ask about. I am dyslexic when it comes to math.
Okay, well, dyslexic. Well, okay, forget it. Anyway, and of course, we're overlooking the beautiful Las Vegas Strip, which is a wonderful thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
But we're here once again with you, and we have some great stuff to talk about.
And you are?
I'm Pat.
And I'm Jodi.
Just in case you may, because people call me Jodi sometimes and call her Pat.
Yeah, it's one of those names where, Jodi could be a boy, Pat.
Yeah, they're both
like that TV
names.
show on Saturday Night Live. Remember? It's Pat. And we didn't know if Pat was a guy or a girl. Did we ever find out?
No, they never even.
We never found out.
I think they even did a movie, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, Jerry shaking his head.
That was really bad.
Very
horrible.
Jerry saying it's horrible.
Yeah. A few of the SNL movies that came out were really good, and then some of them were just absolute
thumbs down. Thumbs down. Stinkers. Name one that you think was a stinker.
One that was
obviously the one we just said.
Yeah. I wasn't a real big fan of the MacGruber movie.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was kind of cheesy, but of course the Blues Brothers movie was great.
Yes.
Coneheads, people go both ways on that. Some people like it, some people hate it.
Yep.
But there's been a few that have come out of that have actually been pretty successful. It's just tough. It's tough to pull off a skit and turn it into a movie.
Yeah.
That's a lot of content. It's like taking the church lady and making a movie out of it. I don't know that.
I think, did they do that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Who knows? But Pat, big excitement. First of all, we want to thank Morgan Dollar last week from the Cauliflower Alley Club for hanging out with us.
Yep.
We got some great response to the show. And a lot of Cauliflower Alley Club people are friending me now on Facebook and Twitter. So, and I got a nice tweet from Jerry Briscoe.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Hey,
the
Jerry.
Tommy Lee Jones of
wrestlers.
Of wrestling.
Yes.
He looks awesome, and he's doing his DDP yoga, and he sent out a tweet.
I did my DDP yoga today.
I didn't do it today. Thumbs down. Hopefully DDP is not watching. I've been doing it 4 days in a row, and I missed today.
Okay. Well, you
get
suck,
a little
so
bit
that's
break.
all right.
All right, I do.
Okay.
But we love our DDP yoga, and if you don't know about DDP yoga, go to ddpyoga.com.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? But Pat, the big exciting news. You're a 60-second man. Well, not that kind of 60 seconds.
Take it easy there. Take it easy there.
60 seconds.
That's how long it took to sell out all of the general admission tickets for the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao fight coming up on May 2nd, which we'll be covering for In This Corner TV. The MGM Grand seats a little over 17,000 people. And they put, I believe it was a Ticketmaster that had all the general admission tickets, and they put them up for sale. The cheapest ticket being $1,500, and I think they said the average ticket price was like $4,500 or $5,500.
Crazy.
And they were sold out in 60 seconds.
Wow.
So if you fumbled for to figure out what you lost it.
Wow.
You lost it. Now I'm looking, like I did a little search, and there's a few sites now that some tickets are popping up at. And I'm seeing, for instance, one of them is ticketliquidator.com, no affiliation. Upper rear, section 219, which is like...
Nosebleed?
The very top in like the back corner.
Oh, yeah.
The worst seats you can get. Okay.
Nosebleed.
$4,550.
Holy cow.
$4,500, because somebody probably bought the $1,500 ticket and said, I'm going to resell it, which is smart. And look at the price range for the tickets: $4,550 to $215,000, and that's for ringside seats, because I believe it was StubHub that got the contract for all the ringside seats, and those are all the ones in blue. If you go look at the stadium layouts, it's the far ones in blue.
Amazing.
And StubHub got those, and most of the people buying them did it just to resell them. So they're selling, can you imagine, $215,000 would buy you a nice house in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Jerry.
Or one front row seat to the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
Wow.
One front row seat to the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
A once in a lifetime fight, and
I think the thing is here's the thing.
I mean, I love I'm passionate about things, but I don't know.
Yeah, you have to just
spend that much money.
But you'd have to. I guess it's all. If you were worth $500 million, I guess dropping 215,000 on a ticket isn't as reasonable.
Okay.
Unreasonable.
If you're worth, how much did you say? $5.5 million.
$500 million.
Okay,
you're $500 million.
You're worth $500 million. Then you wouldn't want to sit in the nosebleed section.
No. I'm talking about the $215,000 seats, which is front row.
Got it. Okay.
No, the guy who's worth that much is not buying the $1,500 or the $4,500 tickets.
I mean,
they're buying two houses and sitting up front with their girlfriend.
Wow, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. I mean, you're going to be at the fight.
And they could say, for the cost of these two tickets, we could have taken a trip around the world and bought a brand new Lamborghini.
Holy cow!
So that's all for a one night. And the thing is that it may not even be that great a fight, as far as entertainment value. The reason being is you're dealing with Floyd Mayweather, who Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters of his generation. That's for sure. People can argue that, but the reality is he is. That's why he's undefeated. But he's also the greatest defensive fighter of his generation, which means he doesn't get hit, which means that he's not standing in the middle of the ring beating up the guy in front of him. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't make for an exciting fight. He's not like the Mexican fighters. The Mexican fighters want to run in the middle of the ring, beat the hell out of each other, and see who's standing at the end. They'll call you, if you're a defensive fighter, they will call you all kinds of names because that's just not how they fight. But Floyd Mayweather wants to actually be able to talk and function and enjoy his hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
So what's the whole? Is it his branding? Is it his brand appeal? Because you just said it yourself. He's not. He moves around a lot. So he's
I've
not
talked about it before.
The best fighter.
It has nothing to do with. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with best. Best means that you win fights.
And he does.
And he does
win fights.
And most entertaining, you don't have to be the best or even close to the best to be entertaining. You just have to be willing to go out there and put your body on the line, which means you get knocked out as much as you knock other people out. And you get hurt a lot, and you wind up with, going to the hospital after every fight because you leave yourself open because you're just standing in the middle of the ring and just punching somebody in the face and letting them punch you because you're not worried about defense. Floyd Mayweather is one of the most difficult fighters in the world to hit. That really will frustrate Manny. Manny's shown in the past that when he gets frustrated, when he can't do what he wants to do, he starts making mistakes. That being said, he has matured and gotten better at that. He's not as apt to make mistakes as he was 5 years ago. If this was a fight that, and I think Smitty, the host of In This Corner, will tell you, being the boxing expert, that 5 years ago, had this happened, the odds in reality, and I'm not basing this on who you like better, in reality really would have skewed much heavier towards Floyd Mayweather because Mayweather's would have been at the top of his game. He would have frustrated the hell out of Manny. Manny would have made mistakes, and he would have beat him by winning rounds, not by knocking him out. He doesn't knock people out in general, but just by winning rounds and throwing Manny off. Now it's going to be a much closer fight, so it's a much harder to call at this point because Pacquiao's a little bit smarter, and Mayweather is a little bit slower. Not a lot, but a little bit.
My money's going on Floyd Mayweather. I think he's going to win the fight. I just think he's not going to lose to Pacquiao. He's got 0 losses.
I think it'll be.
He is not going down.
I think it's going to be a close fight, no matter what you do. I don't think
my
this
money's
is going to be
on Mayweather.
I don't think this is going to be easy for either fighter by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be, I think, probably their toughest opponents of their careers.
So your money's on Manny Pacquiao?
No, I mean, I think I give a slight edge to Mayweather, but it could go either way.
Wow. And it's going to be a very, very busy weekend in Las Vegas that weekend. I mean, it is great. We own a special event company when we're not doing this. And we have weddings that weekend where we have hotel guests at weddings trying to find hotel rooms in cities like Boulder City, Jean, Prim, Pahrump, State Line, a normal hotel room in State Line.
A lot of the strip hotels are charging over $1,000 for rooms that next week will be $59 or something like that, because of the fact this will be the largest, financially the largest, biggest fight in the history of the sport by a lot. This will dwarf any Muhammad Ali fight or any other fight that's happened in the past. It's $250 million guaranteed payout. It's the most expensive pay-per-view in the history of boxing. It's like $90 or something like that.
Wow.
And even just looking at the gate, and we talked about this last week, that they're going to bring in, with 17,000 people, they're going to bring in just as much at the gate as WrestleMania did with 77,000 people.
Oh, wow.
So, it is quite amazing. This is, now people will say, oh, well, yeah, boxing's coming. This is just this fight. This is these two. People have wanted to see these guys fight each other for the last 5, 6, 7 years. These are the two top guys in their weight division.
Yes.
And for whatever reasons, we could say who has excuses for what. The fact is it's happening. And that, it really would, and I've said this for a long time, had they had not made this fight, both of them would have to have a little asterisk next to their name, because no matter what their record was, they would not have faced their greatest opponent in their generation, which would be each other. So
Do you think there could be a rematch?
Oh, they're all saying no, but there's too much money for there not to be. First off, if Pacquiao loses, all the Pacquiao fans are going to go, he's got to fight him again right afterwards. Same thing with Mayweather. There's just, I can't imagine. The second fight would probably be bigger than the first one.
I know. That's why I'm saying. I mean, it's like Apollo Creed and Rocky.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, remember Apollo Creed? There's no rematch, man. No rematch.
No
and
rematch.
Sure enough,
Until they start saying how much money there's going to be, and they go,
Apollo Creed
maybe
was
we'll
like,
have a rematch.
Maybe we'll do that. Hey, call them the Italian chicken. And
because these guys are making in one fight, they're making more money than most top fighters make in a career by a lot.
I just want to know what kind of people are getting those ringside seats. You got to, Pat, you're going to have to, maybe you can't, periscope to see the people sitting there. But
no, you'll be able to see it on TV, even though we won't have the pay-per-view at the house. I'll be watching it in the press room. And they even talked about the fact that, they usually have a whole floor section that is just for press. They were even talking about that being either completely eliminated or reduced considerably to just like the HBO, Showtime's, ESPN.
So where would you be sitting?
Well,
you're going to be in a
I'm in a press room. I'm in a press room, and I always stay in the press room because I like being in the press room. But Smitty and John generally sit on the floor.
Not this time.
I have a feeling they're going to be sitting next to the $4,500 seats and upper 219. I think.
Wow, great people watching. It's going to be great people watching. I'm so jealous.
Well, the reality is, even people with cheap seats got cash, because if you buy two tickets for a crappy upper section looking down at the top of the lights,
you spent $3,000.
No, $9,000, because if you missed it, you're spending $9,000 for
But
two
if
tickets.
You bought it in the 60 seconds at $1,500, that's $3,000. So
$3,000.
$3,000. If you're just a regular person who got in the 60-second mark, you spent $3,000 for two nosebleed seats.
I'll guarantee you that there's some Pacquiao fans that are selling off children to get those tickets, because they're hardcore fans. They are hardcore fans, and there's nobody that Pacquiao fans want to see him beat more than Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, yeah.
Plain and simple. There's nobody.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this. The success of Floyd Mayweather is the fact that he understands that more people will show up to a fight, buy the pay-per-view, go to a closed circuit event to see the guy they hate lose than see the guy they like win. And that's why he brings in more money than Pacquiao on a regular pay-per-views, everything else.
He's a heel. If it was wrestling, he'd be the heel.
Look, he got involved with WWE for a reason. Right. And he saw that and went,
Yeah. Remember, I had to give up my seat, my ringside seat. That one time I had Hell in a Cell or whatever I had front row seats. WWE gave them to me, and then I had to move.
Yeah.
Because those seats were Floyd Mayweather seats, because he was working an angle.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. They brought him in. We sat there a few minutes before his angle started. We all had to leave our seats. He sat in them. The angle happened. He left. We got our seats back.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But I'll bet you, if you were going to take the ultimate selfie, wouldn't you want to take? That's the ultimate selfie right there.
In the arena with the fight happening? I have a feeling there's going to be several thousand of those going on. Look, if I spent $215,000 on a seat, I'm taking selfies all day.
Right, but
whether they like it or not.
But I'll bet you money that those selfie sticks, those little and Pacquiao, nationality? Filipino. So selfie sticks will be everywhere. Because my theory is Filipinos love the selfie stick.
Yeah.
Because look at this picture right there.
Well, that guy's not Filipino.
Well,
but
he's
okay.
close, but he looks.
You like that? You like that? That's the New York Italiener coming out. That's just like,
What can I tell you?
Hey, it's close enough.
Hey, every time I've been to a wedding and a guest has a selfie stick, I'm just saying. I'm not. They're Filipino. They're Filipinos.
They like taking pictures of themselves.
Well, that's going to be.
And they have short arms, so.
That could be the reason why. But I'm telling you, they will ban those selfie sticks. So if you're planning on going to the fight, you probably won't be able to have it because Churchill Downs, one of the big races for the
Kentucky Derby.
Right. Kentucky Derby. No selfie sticks at the Kentucky Derby.
That's right.
They are banning
and I can see why, because, people take those selfie sticks out and they swing them around people don't pay attention to anything anyway. They swing those suckers around, and that's all you need is to get hit upside the head with a selfie stick and somebody's smartphone attached at the end of it. And that's what they do. They go, hey, and they swing it out and click, and, meanwhile, you get a nice knot on the side of your head.
Selfie sticks are being banned in a lot of places. They were banned.
Museums.
Yeah, museums. I hear the NFL is thinking about
Can you imagine somebody goes in, they want to take a selfie next to the Mona Lisa, and their smartphone flies off and goes through the canvas? Wow. That would be like the ultimate.
So I'm having lunch yesterday, Pat. I was at the Las Vegas Hospitality Association meeting, and I'm sitting at a table with a girl who sells promotional products.
Yeah.
So promotional products are like your pen, with the logo on it, a coffee mug with a logo on it, maybe a flash drive with your logo on it. If you're like Sight and Sound, the glasses, we had the glasses at the bridal show that had our logo on it. Chargers, whatever. So I asked her as part of lunch conversation, so tell me, what is the number one promotional item that you guys are, spitting out? People are ordering. She said they are selfie sticks. Selfie sticks with your company logo and name on them are the hottest promotional item that they're selling. Wow. Could you imagine selfie sticks? They're giving them away. Companies are giving them away.
Those are fun on occasion, where you just got a big group and you want to take a picture and you don't want to hand your $800 smartphone off to some stranger. But those things get a little obnoxious when there's like everybody is out there with and like I said, they're swinging them around and.
I haven't found a good selfie stick that really works.
Yeah, they work like a third of the time, and you got to sit there and mess with them, and you got to make sure your Bluetooth is connected, and it's like,
Well, LG that makes the phones, right?
Yes.
LG, they are actually going to be adding wide-angle cameras onto their new cell phones. So people are saying this could be the end of the selfie stick. I doubt it.
They're already really
said,
wide angle.
Well,
they're already very wide angle lenses, and
Yeah, because you said the whole reason for a selfie stick is because you want that wide.
Yeah, you can't reach your arm out far enough.
Yeah, if you're vertically challenged, like
Yes.
Jerry. No, I'm only
Jerry.
kidding, Jerry.
Just to short those Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, It's like
our engineer. He's awesome. He can make anything sing, but he's the man. But it's hard. Me, Jodi, I'm 6'1", no problem.
She's got a huge wingspan.
Yeah, except the only problem I have is hitting that button at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at.
That's coordination.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I'm just so bad. Like, watch, Pat. We should do one right now. Okay?
We're gonna do a selfie right now. No selfie stick, by the way.
Yeah.
Without a selfie stick.
And I have no branded cover on the back. Okay, I have to turn it around, right?
Yeah, because right now you're taking a picture of Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I can't. I'm terrible.
Yeah, you got not getting us. But we'd have to both lean in here.
Okay, now I got to hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's terrible. You do.
That was terrible.
You do it better than I do.
Okay,
Watch. No, that's mine. Watch Pat's. Pat is the king.
See the little dangling finger there?
The dangling.
There we go.
Look at that shot.
Look at that. Wow, you ready? 1, 2. I just took a selfie, and she just took a selfie. For all the people listening on SoundCloud going, why the hell am I listening to people take selfies? Watch the YouTube, really.
Watch the YouTube show. You should be watching the YouTube show anyway and seeing my purple hair.
You should be watching it for all. Yeah, I'll put that. Yeah, you could see that there. It's cool.
Yeah, we'll post it on Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. So we'll do that.
I'll give you back your phone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, Pat, the other thing that's very, very popular too, and maybe this definitely won't be happening at the fight. I don't know how they can control it though, is the
Lack of bandwidth.
Well, oh right, you're right. The Meerkat or Periscope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the latest thing right now. It is the hottest thing. So you people might want to know what exactly I'm talking about. Pat, well, first of all, I'm so excited about this Periscope thing because it's actually...
She loves it.
I do love it. I've actually booked a gig from Periscope. Imagine that. I did. So I took Periscope, which is live video streaming. So there's an app that you get for your iPhone or your smartphone. I think Periscope only works with iPhones, and Meerkat will work with your smartphone.
Android, yeah. Because I can't get. If I remember correctly, I can't get Periscope for my Android yet.
Okay, so
but that's coming, I'm sure.
Right. So this is the latest thing. So I'm in the business of doing events, like I told you. So what I did was I thought it would be interesting, Jerry, if I took a design session. You know, my design sessions where I go over the music and the timeline with the client, and I did a Periscope of it. And I did. I talked to my client, and she said, yes, it's okay, because that's another thing. There's a lot
have to ask their permission.
There's a lot of privacy crap going down with this Periscope and Meerkat. Lawsuits are going to be flying, but that's something different. But right now, the technology is live video streaming. So I posted it out. Las Vegas wedding event planner doing a design session. And sure enough, I'm going over, and I must have had on and off, because they'll tell you how many people are actually watching you do this. I must have had on or off about 50 people. They came on, hearts, if they like it, all these hearts come popping up, and they can leave you messages. Well, the minute I hung up on that design session, I swear, the minute I hung up on it, I received a phone call at the office from a girl who watched me do the design session, and not only did she hire us for the DJ entertainment, but day of coordinating services for her wedding.
Wow.
Just saying.
Saying. Not saying, but I'm saying. I'm actually thinking of using some of this at the next track clinic for the Total Control track clinic out at the track. If I can get enough bandwidth, look up Cycle Sports TV, and we're going to be doing some live Meerkat, not Periscope, but Meerkat live streaming of some of the classes. I'd love to figure out a way to get it to work while we're doing some hot laps, but I'd have to figure out a good mount for the phone on the bike.
And these things, these Meerkat and Periscope, they're actually supported by Twitter. So if you have if you follow somebody on Twitter, you'll get a notification. You should also like them on Periscope, but you'll get a notification that somebody is broadcasting live. For example, Maria Menounos, I follow her on, I don't know why I follow her, so don't ask, but I do follow her on Periscope. So every time Maria is Periscoping, I get an alert, and I get to see Maria in her house. One day she jumped in bed with her mother and father. She was laying in bed next to her boyfriend, and she was reading a book, and she was it's the weirdest stuff people do. Pat and I were at WrestleMania, and we were driving to an event at like 10 o'clock at night, and Stephanie McMahon, who runs the WWE, was actually meerkatting a live event and telling people who were sitting next to her what she was doing. And it was hysterical, right? Because she was saying, I've got 144 people watching me now.
She was explaining to the people next to her, as she was explaining to the people next to her what she was doing. And you could hear them asking questions. It's like, yeah, it's live streaming right now. And they had it was one of their NXT matches that actually it sold out.
Yeah,
which,
we were
which
watching.
really wasn't surprising.
Yeah, it was pretty. That's what got me decided. Now, Meerkat, when you videotape something on Meerkat, it doesn't save it, so it's gone forever.
It's
kind of
strictly live. Yeah, it's kind of like what's the app for teenagers? Snapchat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Snapchat. He's laughing because you're a teenager, right? Do you have Snapchat? No. Okay, but it's like...
No, here's the thing. When Jerry gets naked pictures of girls, he wants to save them to his phone. He doesn't want them to disappear. Do you understand that?
That's God. But, I thought...
I'm not stupid.
I thought the Vine was really cool. I really did. Yeah. I am known for crazy Vine videos when I go to New York.
That's for sure.
Hi, Pat. I get strangers on the street to say hello to Pat. On Vine. Seriously. And I thought that was the best thing. Imagine periscoping. That's going to be even better.
Oh, yeah. But like you said, some privacy issues. People aren't going to want you walking down the street videotaping them randomly, filming and broadcasting it to the world. Especially if you're Maria Menounos that actually has a bunch of followers. I think if you're just a regular Joe that has 3 people watching there, it's kind of not a big deal.
Well, Maria, when she does her meerkat, with her Periscope, it's herself. It's her boyfriend, her mother, her father.
Yeah, she's not out there filming people,
no,
people's
she's not
kids in a park or something like that.
No, she's not on Hollywood Boulevard and taking random, hi, I'm Maria Menounos, and I'm on Hollywood Boulevard. Look at all the freaks. Like, she's
all
not
it's going to take
that.
is some goofball kid to do that in the gym when people are taking showers to really change things.
Well, think about it.
What I say it, people go to jail, there's lawsuits. All it takes is one dummy to mess this whole thing up.
Well, think about it,
and
too.
not use it right.
Well, think about now when we go to the gym, they tell you that you're not allowed to use your cell phones in the gym.
In the gym, yeah.
Or in the gym, in the changing room, in the locker room, or taking photos. Because
people have been able to take photos for years.
Yeah, because
and how many pictures are up on the web now of naked people from changing in the gym?
I don't see that, man. Do you see any?
Oh, there's whole sites dedicated to
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't
just
see
do
it.
a Google search. And I'm sure you'll find it.
I don't even want to know.
Google.
I don't want to
it.
know unless he looks
Google
like Rush. Then maybe I'd like to see that.
I would have to. I said if I have to put money on it, I would say that most of the pictures are naked girls and not naked guys. But I could be wrong.
Doyle, help me out.
Yeah. The ones Doyle gets are ones that are sent to him voluntarily, though. He just seems to be able to get lots of pictures sent to him as well. I don't know what he has that skill. He has that magic about him. I don't know.
So this meerkat and this Periscope is the latest and greatest thing in the social media world. So I highly recommend. Maybe I'll Periscope in a few seconds as we go to our next story and see how many people actually are watching Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. But I do have to say, Pat, why I'm so successful at Periscoping, or why you would be successful and Jerry would be successful at Periscoping, is the hashtag Vegas.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to see a party in Vegas. They're fascinated with Vegas. They want to see a Vegas wedding. They want to see anything Vegas Strip. Anything with the word Las Vegas or Vegas is like putting, beef in front of a steak in front of a tiger. You're going to get people that are curious and are going to watch it. So, that we have that going for us people that live in Vegas. I mean, I have Periscoped a wedding reception. Were you with me when I did it? Oh, okay. I've done a Periscope. And again, I've had as many as 50 people saying things.
Well, and if Jerry was to Periscope, just all the chicks that follow him would be like 200, right?
Oh,
just,
yeah.
right?
If we get Jerry on Periscope, forget about it.
He's a ladies' man. He's got him, just chasing after him. He's got to have security just to move around. He's a player.
He's a player. So
we're building up your rep, Jerry.
We are. He's the man. He owns a house. He has a nice house. He owns his own home and
a mansion right next to Mayweather's.
Right
and
next
they talk to each other.
They go knocking on the doors.
Yeah.
But what about prom, Pat? It is prom season, guys. And, there are a lot of DJs that I know across the country. They're doing dances. They're doing proms. Did you go to your prom?
No, I didn't go to my prom.
Did you hear the latest about this boy who...
I did.
Okay. So you want to kind of fill everybody in while I Periscope, kind of tell them while I get this thing hooked up here?
So let's just say it was a Washington State high school student who wore a fake bomb vest loaded with fake explosives. Well, I guess they say loaded with fake explosives. It wouldn't be a fake bomb vest if it didn't have fake explosives, right? If it didn't have fake explosives, it would just be a vest. So,
well, he made it out of toilet paper tubes.
Yeah, toilet paper tubes.
He took those, the little things. Unless you're politically correct and you use the no tube toilet paper.
So what did he do? He said, "Mom, Dad, just save all the empty tubes. I'm going to be using them. Don't worry about it. It's just something
I would have
funny.
asked some chick to the prom.
I'm going to ask some chick to the prom, and I need to save these empty toilet paper tubes." "Oh, sure, son." I would. Yeah, he probably had to get a few of them. I had to assume that had to be weird. So it's looks like Ibrahim Ahmad, 18, was suspended for 5 days from LA Center High School after he donned a paintball vest loaded with fake explosives, paper tubes attached to red wires, and stood up in the school cafeteria with a sign reading, "I know it's a little late, but I'm kind of the bomb."
Oh my God, he's kind of the bomb. There you are. Hey, Jerry, come over here and just kind of hold this.
Will you be my date to your prom? let me repeat that line. He has a fake bomb vest on him, right? And he stands up in the cafeteria in a populated part of the school and says, I know it's a little late, but I'm kind of the bomb. And then the girl's name, will you be my date to the prom?
Wow. So in order to get a prom date, this guy actually faked. He said, you're the bomb, and he had a bomb.
I'm the bomb. He says,
I'm the bomb.
He says, I know I'm the bomb. Will you be my date to the prom? Okay.
I'm the bomb. Will you be my... Wow, he's a poet. He didn't even know it.
This has got to be, there's a whole list of really bad pickup lines and lines you use to get girls. This whole scenario has to be at the top of that. Because, and I know a picture of him, but with the last name Ahmad, I'm going to assume that he's probably...
Arabian?
Arabic, yeah. He's probably... And so that
and he's walking around with a bomb.
Which makes it even that much worse. It's like a Mexican guy showing up with a sombrero and poncho. It just kind of... It's like, really? Really? Your mom and dad know you did this?
Wow. So he went to...
Do you think his parents... Oh, yeah, he even says, I'm Middle Eastern, and I thought the bomb was kind of funny and clever, he told the Columbia newspaper. You thought it was clever?
And this is Columbia, North Carolina, or South Carolina?
No. This is a Washington State high school.
Oh, okay. So the Washington State, Seattle.
Ahmad said that that his intended date, I'm not going to say her name, accepted his prom proposal, but was soon told by administrators that he was being suspended for 5 days and would not be allowed to attend the dance. So, two very smart people here. A guy stands up with a vest that looks like a bomb vest, calls himself the bomb, and then asks a girl to the prom.
Because he's the bomb.
And she says yes.
But where are they going to go?
Okay.
On their...
Just a little message to the two of you.
Thumbs
Date,
down.
I get dating. Don't have children. Please don't have children.
Don't reproduce.
Don't have children. No.
Down,
do not reproduce.
All right. Wow. So
holy smokes, talk about bad decision.
That's a bad decision. We're periscoping. Okay.
And he says it didn't even look like a bomb.
Yeah, it was toilet paper tubes.
Still, it says there's a cell phone video of the prom.
At a high school with all the Columbine shit.
There's
and all
a cell phone video
Virginia
of the promposal showed students appearing amused by the display, but Superintendent Mark Mansell said Ahmad needed to be punished for the disruption of the learning environment. To me, it's just this blatant disrespect. He said the student knew that the principal wouldn't support this and went ahead with it anyway. Ahmad says he believes administrators overreacted and his race may have influenced their decision.
I don't think that had anything to do with it. It wouldn't matter if he was Arabic, white, Chinese,
stupid
from Mars.
is stupid.
Stupid is stupid.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You don't go into... Look at the Columbine kids. They were white.
Here's the best part. This is where these entitled little bastards just need to be slapped in the face by somebody. Excuse my French, but it was really unfair. It's kind of felt racist, Ahmad said. If anyone else did that, I feel like no one else would have gotten in trouble for it. If anybody else would have done it, they would have gotten in trouble for it, dummy.
You would have went to jail.
Holy smokes, you do a fake bomb vest and you stand up in the middle of your cafeteria and you think if you were white, that would have been okay? They probably would have thrown that kid in jail.
Yeah, because, Pat, the Columbine kids were
racist.
white. They were white, the Columbine kids. They were white.
Yeah.
And so was that kid in Newtown,
There's a lot
Connecticut?
of them. But either way, it's just...
Wow. I can't imagine going that far to get a prom date. So,
and they said basically they're going to go out, him and his girl are going to go out on a dinner date in lieu of the dance. So apparently their parents didn't think it was that big of a deal either. Wow. Well.
Holy
smokes. I mean, like I said, I know when you're 18 you make dumb decisions, but man, this is right up there with really bad. Because what happens if there's security in there and they see that and it looks a lot more like a bomb vest than you think it does, and now it becomes a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't joke about that.
No, you don't joke about things like that. Pat, Jerry is holding my iPhone.
Yes, thank you for that, Jerry, for periscoping.
So
hopefully all the people on Periscope could hear us on my screaming rant. And this is a little preview of what is going to come up on SoundCloud and YouTube on Staying Up with Pat and Jodi.
Hi,
So,
folks on Periscope.
hello,
Okay.
everybody on
Hello.
Periscope. Thank you for watching.
If you're watching, hey,
Okay,
Vegas. Okay,
cut it off.
cut it off. You can shut the Periscope off.
Thank
now.
you, Jerry. We appreciate that.
Did you finish? It's over? Good. Did we have a few people watching us?
You had 10 at one point.
10.
Wow.
Okay, hey, 10.
10.
And see now what it's doing, it's reloading for a replay. So
Yeah.
somebody can actually, who follows me on Twitter, can actually see this.
So now I'm hoping that at some point they'll have that for the Android because, as you know, I'm not an iPhone user, nor have I been for a while. I jumped out of the iPhone lemming world at iPhone 4. I had a 3 and a 4, and after that went right to my my brand new Galaxy Note 4 now. I had a 2,
Yes.
which I still have, but I now have my beautiful Galaxy Note 4 that also has
He's so proud of it.
my little pen that you don't have.
Ooh, he has I have a pen. I have a Sight and Sound
Yeah,
pen.
that's an extra. Mine comes with it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Enough with the love fest. We lost Mike Walter again.
I know, Mike Walter. I think we lost Mike Walter right at the beginning. No, he would have stuck around for the Mayweather stuff,
Maybe.
and I think we lost him after that. I don't know.
We lost him on the selfie.
As soon as
stick.
you said, I think actually, as soon as you started talking about Cauliflower Alley, he probably bolted out and said, "Forget it." He's like, "This is going to be a wrestling episode." Little did you know, minimal wrestling content this week, Mike.
But lots about the kid that put toilet paper around him to go
try
to
to
the
make it
prom.
look like he had a bomb vest on, thinking that was cute.
You know what? I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, and we had to ask guys to go to the prom, and I had the worst prom date ever.
Well,
ever.
okay.
My
Let's just
prom
say the
date
date-
makes
let's just
for-
say-
makes for a great thumbs up
Okay.
story now, but back then it was thumbs
Okay,
down.
so let's just say that maybe the date itself wasn't the worst in the world, but your date didn't turn out to be the best
Are
person.
we really going to go there?
Is kind of what you're trying to say. And you have something in common with your mom there, too.
Yes, my mother and I share a common bond when it comes to picking men to go to the prom with.
And
Which
their
is-
futures.
which explains why Pat and I never had a daughter, never had children, because I don't want that gene to follow
prom.
down the road. My mother and I share this in common. We both went to the prom with murderers. Yes, we did. Yes.
They became murderers afterwards, Jerry. I know. He's like, what
He's
the
like,
hell?
what the hell?
He's thinking, the guy went, shot
Yes.
somebody in the head, picked her up,
Yes.
cleaned the blood off his
Yes.
hand. Don't worry about this. I just cut myself. No, nothing quite that extreme.
A week-
Just later became a murderer. They both dated guys and went to the prom with
I didn't
guys
date
that later
this guy.
decided to take the life of
He was
another
nice
human
when
being.
I asked him to the prom once.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was a great guy
I
when he
should have
killed
took
that
his
other
brother. I made a mistake. I should have took the brother to the prom or the neighbor up the street. I should have went to the prom
See?
with Peter Fulfrey. That's who I should.
person. Peter, if you're out there, you were.
Peter Fulfrey or Bruce Stolmack. That's who I should have went to.
How do
I
you
would've
remember
loved-
these names?
Bruce Stolmack and I worked at the library together. He was so hot.
The only way I remember anybody's
wanted to
name
ask
except
him
for
to my
close
prom.
friends from high school is if they have a name tag on.
No.
I'm so bad with names with that.
I almost
She
shared.
could tell you her bully from like the 5th grade.
Don't even go there because one of my bullies does follow me on Facebook. He apologized.
He
but-
did, and he apologized and felt bad for it. But
He did.
But
He
what
did.
is his name?
No, I'm not saying it.
Okay.
I don't want to say it because it's over and it's in the past.
It's in the
but-
past from 1970 something.
Yeah, no, it's in the past, and he's a cool guy now.
she
and I
remembered.
appreciate, and we're Facebook friends, and I think it's ballsy that he did take the time to write me.
Absolutely.
But he was a bully. Just putting it out there. If he's listening, he really was. He really did mess. Yeah, he was just mean.
But
I
did-
do remember
at least
Vito
realize
Baffoli.
that
You're
he
talking
was.
about Vito Baffoli.
Vito Baffoli.
Vito
Yeah.
Baffoli. I have no idea where he is. But
don't know.
But the other guy.
He
who
probably
was
followed in the
neighbors-
footsteps of your prom date.
He did wear mascara.
Or maybe that's who your prom date found, and who knows? Maybe that was
No.
who-
My prom. The story of the legend of my prom date goes apparently a week after the prom. He got into an altercation
Wait,
with
a
some.
week after the
It
prom?
was a week
this wasn't
after the
like a
prom.
few years later. This is a week after the prom.
No, this is a week after the prom. I guess apparently they picked up some kid, like he was hanging out with some bad kids, and they picked up the friend of this kid, and they threw him in a back of a van in the Bronx, and they told this kid that died, they said, "Tell us where your friend is," and the kid wouldn't say anything, and so the boys in the van said to my prom date, "Make him tell us where he is. Make him tell us where where he is. And the kid wouldn't tell. So my prom date took a gun and blew the kid's head off.
Wow. What a sweetheart.
Urban legend goes. And I got the phone call a week after the prom from some girl who lives in the Bronx, who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, who said, your prom date. And sure enough, my parents were very good friends with the family that I went to my prom date's family. And it was true. It was true. So,
wow.
Yes. And what was also a little bit weird about this particular family, and I'm not going to say who they are, obviously, but my father was very good friends with my prom date's father. They were very, you know who I'm talking about. They were at our wedding. The mother and father. I mean, the prom kid screwed up, but his parents are super cool. So my father and this guy were best friends. Best friends. This is a weird story. My father says goodbye to his friend. Let's say his friend's name is Tony. He says goodbye to Tony one day, and Tony makes a comment to my father like, ugh, these kids, my family, they're just killing me. And that was the last time my father saw Tony. Well, my father was like, I haven't heard from Tony in a while. And they talked almost every day. My father's like, I haven't heard from Tony. I haven't heard from him in a while. He's one of my best friends. I better call up. Nothing. Nobody returned the phone call. Finally, he knocked on the door. He went to their house because he's like, this is unusual. Tony's blowing me off. Somebody answered the door and told my father that Tony had died.
Literally the day after he saw him, right?
Yes.
And nobody told his best friend. Nobody returned his calls.
Yep. Nobody. So my father's like...
That sucks.
That was one of my father's best friends in the whole world. He never went to a funeral. He never saw the body, which this is just all so creepy. I watch too much daytime TV, so this sounds like a Days of Our Lives Demira kind of situation. But yeah, my father never... And you knew my father up until the day he died.
Yeah.
He missed his best friend.
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't he say that all the time?
He was
how much
hurt.
he missed?
He was hurt by that really bad. I mean, that really hurt him because that was
he missed his best friend. He did. So if you have a best friend, call him up, tell him that you love him, and
make sure they're okay.
Make sure they're okay.
You never know.
Moral of our story. But let's change gears about bullies and Vito Buffoli and all the bullies that I know.
Yes.
Let's talk about Bruce Jenner.
Bruce.
I'm still, Jerry, I am still shocked about Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
I met Bruce Jenner. I did a party with Bruce Jenner.
It was like 10 years ago, right?
At least 10 years ago. Maybe, how many years is Sight and Sound? 20 years. We've been around 20 years. Our other company has been around for 20 years. I remember doing a corporate event at the Rio, working side by side with Bruce Jenner. He is such a nice man, and he still is such a great person. He's a great person. But boy, did that hit me like a ton of bricks that Bruce is now becoming a woman. And Diane Sawyer is going to do the interview with Bruce. And apparently, ABC is keeping a very tight lid on this whole Bruce Jenner situation. Like, nobody's talking about it. Now, in my former career, I actually worked for ABC, and I worked for the network. And on closed circuit, we would have TVs in our office. It was pretty cool. It was the 80s. And we had TV sets in our office, and we used to see shows, like the feed. We'd get the feeds. Like, they would have to run them ahead of time, I guess, to put them on tape or something. So we had like these internal channels. They're not even showing this interview on the feeds. Like, nobody, like, I used to be a spoiler. Like, at my family dinners, I would spoil like all my children. People would come to me and go, so what's going to happen? And I would tell them because I knew 3 weeks ahead of time because I saw them do
you saw them doing rehearsals.
Yeah, I saw camera blocks, rehearsals, all that stuff. But on this particular Bruce Jenner thing, ABC is keeping quiet. So the ratings for this should go through the roof.
Absolutely, and this is a big story because this is one of I think about it as one of the U.S.'s greatest athletes.
Absolutely,
I was on the Wheaties box, back when I was a little tiny kid.
Yep,
and quite a public figure for years, a public speaker.
A great public Pat. Oh my God, he is an amazing public speaker.
But apparently, this is something that he knew since he was a kid, but held on to this for, 50 years? Plus years?
Yeah.
That he knew that he wanted to become a woman at some point and held on to that and had, marriages and kids. And you got to wonder if anybody else besides himself knew, if he shared it with anybody, or if he had to keep this bottled up until he felt that he could do it and not be completely ruined.
Well, I guess
You know.
we'll find out on ABC on Friday night
Yeah.
with Diane Sawyer that we'll get the whole scoop about, did his first wife know? Did his second? Because he's been married 3 times.
Yeah.
He was married to Christy while he was doing his Olympic thing. Then he married Linda Thompson, who was one of Elvis's ex girlfriends.
The last girlfriend, right?
No, Ginger was the
Ginger,
last
okay.
one. Linda Thompson was a very famous, tall, blonde, kind
Yeah,
of Susan
okay.
Anton looking woman, very pretty. And then Kris Jenner with the whole, and then he's obviously Kendall Jenner's dad.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Kendall Jenner. She's like the hot thing now, and that's her dad. So it's going to be a very interesting interview. I find it fascinating. My Bruce Jenner story was that when I was DJing for the party, he says, whatever you do, Jodi, whatever you do, please don't play anything by the Village People, which I found now, this is odd.
What?
But Bruce is not gay. He's transgender. It's a difference.
Yeah.
So, but he did not want to hear anything by the Village People.
Because of a movie that he was in.
Please don't stop the music.
So here's the thing. Here's your homework assignment. Since we have access to videos, anybody watching this show, go and do a Google search of Please Don't Stop the Music with Bruce Jenner, and you tell me if he should have been embarrassed about being in that movie or not. I'm not going to give you any
It wasn't one of his finer movies.
insights, but just look that movie up and tell me what you think.
There you go. And People magazine came out with their most beautiful people, and on the cover, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock, wow, and
She's beautiful.
yeah, she's and she's what, like late 40s now?
50.
She's 50.
50 years old. Go,
She's holding
girl.
up really good.
She's holding up very well. Well, money will do that to you.
Oh, yes, it will.
If you have money for Botox injections and all kinds of personal trainers, and they cook for you, and DDP will come to your house and he'll do yoga with you.
I want somebody to cook for me because you sure as hell won't. So
Damn straight. Damn straight.
I cook for her. I want somebody to cook
All
for me
the
for
time.
once.
Jerry, all the time. I can't boil an egg.
The
You know what I do?
closest-
I go buy hard-boiled eggs because I can't boil
The
them.
closest I get to somebody cooking me a meal is when I visit my mom.
That's damn straight.
That's it.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Your mom is an amazing cook.
Absolutely.
We're coming out June.
Absolutely. We want some
Right
some
after I
Puerto
get-
Rican food.
Yeah, after I get done with the New York City tour, by the way, May 30th to June 9th. I think I might have said last time, May 30th to September 9th.
Yeah, that would be a very long trip.
Yes, so the road trip, the Jodi Harris road trip starts on May 30th. So if you'd like to have tickets to see me speak, just email me and I will send you some tickets.
Awesome.
Awesome. But anyway, yes, Pat, I do not cook dinner. You cook dinner because, a trip to the hospital is definitely not on my agenda.
Nor mine. If I want to cleanse out my system, I'll just
Have me cook.
take some fiber.
But you know what we did?
Citrusol.
Don't say we didn't have a cook. We did have a personal cook for a while. Our next door neighbor, Tom.
Yeah, he cooked us some pre-made meals to try to help us on our diet for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
But that was like $10 a meal. It wasn't like some super expensive
Yeah,
thing.
no,
It wasn't somebody
and he
in
was
my
studying to be-
kitchen cooking for, what would you like for breakfast this morning?
I'm telling you, Pat, this is, and I know she's listening, your mom, Anna, this is what the plan is. We get another house. We got to get a house, a bigger house.
Bigger.
With a casita in the back. We move Anna into the casita in the back of the house. Then I could go to work, and when I come home, your mom will have dinner ready for us. She'll have the house cleaned. My laundry.
She wants
will
a
be
Puerto Rican maid, is what she wants.
No, your mother is super clean and she's super neat. Seriously, she is. Like if I was to drink out of a toilet, that's her toilet would be. I drink out of her toilet. Her bathroom. She shares a 2-bedroom apartment with your sister Kathy right now, and it's 2 girls and 1 bathroom. Now in my house, we're 2 people and our bathroom's a mess.
But I gotta say this:
so
they're
clean.
both
Oh
kind
my
of neat.
gosh.
They're both kind of neat freaks, though. So
Oh my
their house
gosh.
is gonna be.
Oh my God,
really
their house
clean.
is super clean.
Yeah.
Our house, it's just me, him, and Shingo, Champ and Bingo, and it looks like a train wreck with no children.
Yeah.
So I think your mom needs to come and just, hang out with us. She'd be part of staying up with Pat and Jodi. We'll just change
That's
it
right.
to staying up with Pat, Jodi,
Well,
and
then
Anna.
we don't need to do any coffee time Spanish.
No!
We have the Spanish translator right next to us, and we can ask her how to say dirty things in Spanish.
Absolutely. We could come up with a whole new podcast.
Yeah.
Instead of Coffee Time Espanol,
talking dirty in Spanish. That's what we'll come up with.
And then we go instead
we
of
just
the
come
A,
up with phrases in Spanish that we want to say, or phrases we want to say in Spanish, and we have her tell
Your
us how to
mother
say
better
it.
be listening to this. I hope she's listening.
I think we could
We
take
could have
that
a
to the
winner.
network.
I think so
there's a
too.
network.
I think that
it would have to be like HBO or maybe Cinemax. Actually,
no, we
I
get
think
our
Cinemax.
own Sirius satellite radio channel.
Well, yeah, you could do it on Sirius.
That would be
on
awesome.
an XL channel.
You know, we lost Mike Walter, of course. Well, but maybe Mike Walter wants to learn dirty words in Spanish.
He does. You want to talk dirty to your wife, Mike, in Spanish? We're going to come up with a show that allows you to do that. This is not only educational; it's fulfilling as well. This is positive stuff. It's where we'd be kind of like these motivational speakers
Rosetta
and stuff
Stone.
that
We
help
could be the
improve
next
your life. Yeah, we're like Rosetta Stone and a motivational speaker, all wrapped up into one because we make your life better and teach you Spanish at the same time.
And dirty Spanish that you can use on the streets of New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm sure in New Jersey they can use this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been to Newark, Elizabeth. Elizabeth. But yes, I think that's a great idea. So, Pat, are you keeping up with this whole Ben Affleck thing? Have you heard Affleck?
He's doing insurance now?
I guess he's apologizing to PBS for hiding his slave-owning ancestors. He was part of...
What, in the basement or something?
Well, there's a show on PBS. It's a show about finding your roots, a genealogy show. It's called Finding Your Roots. And apparently they dug deep into the history of the Afflecks and found out that he had a relative that was a slave owner. And he really wanted that hidden. He wanted that kept away. Well, I have to disagree. I mean, Ben didn't own slaves. His ancestors did. It's part of his roots. He's not saying...
I'm not a firm believer in you should, the sins of the father.
Be embarrassed.
Shit. It's like if you had a relative that's 10 generations away from you, or 5 generations away from you that your great grandparents never even knew. How is that bad on you? I mean, did you have any control over that? You had no control over who your great grandparents were.
Right.
If we go back far enough into anybody's genealogy, you're going to find bad people. I don't care who it is. You're going to find bad people because there's just enough bad people out there. You're going to find bad people in anybody's genealogy. Let's go into the Pope's background, and we're going to find somebody who was just a horrible person if you go back far enough. Because it just gets bigger. That tree gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you go. And again, that doesn't make you a bad person because that didn't influence you. It had nothing to do with you.
I kind of find
that's kind of ridiculous. And I'm not a big Ben Affleck fan because I think he's kind of a douche. But
really, Ben Affleck?
There's some movies. There's some movies that he's in that he's entertaining in, but as a person, I think he's kind of a douche.
Really? No, I think he'd be somebody that I'd want to hang out with. I think he's super successful. He's won an Academy Award, a few of them, as a matter of fact. I think he's an excellent actor. I loved him in
Excellent actor?
Yeah, excellent actor.
You do know who Ben Affleck is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He played George Reeves in the Hollywood movie. He played. I thought that was a great movie. I loved him in. I can't think of it. I loved him in that movie.
I loved him in that one movie.
That one movie where they went to Iran and he freed the hostages in Iran. What was it called?
It was the one.
Zero Dark 30? No, I don't know.
Zero Dark 30 was the other one.
It's such a great movie that I totally don't even know what it's called. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you didn't see
the one where it was about the story of the undercover agents that went in to free the Iranian hostages back when Carter was president. It was from like 1980, and he posed as a TV reporter, a Canadian TV reporter, and it's based on a true story. Argo. Yes.
Argo, that's it.
There you go. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry pulls out another one.
And he didn't even have to use his iPhone to do it. He knew.
So
and he hasn't even seen the movie.
I gave you a synopsis of the movie without even knowing the title of the movie. That's amazing.
Very cool. Yeah, I don't think I'd be embarrassed by what my ancestors did. I mean, that's like you went to a whole tirade. I mean, that's them.
There are great people that have horrible relatives. They have great people that have horrible living relatives.
Oh, I can attest for that.
So the thing is I mean, you could be a fantastic person who lives their life to help other people, and you could be related to somebody who was a mass murderer.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely. I mean, look at it doesn't need to be explained, but I don't think Ben should be super embarrassed by it. I think
I have to agree with that. I don't think that.
I think that's very interesting to find out about his family.
Because he's probably embarrassed about having
he's
that ancestor
embarrassed
there.
by it. And then finally, Pat, I have this great story about a little mini. How do you pronounce the name of that dog? Because I can.
Dachshund.
Dachshund. Okay, a little miniature dachshund has been rescued after spending 13 days trapped underneath a concrete slab at her home in Kansas. Ron Brown. Tell us about, he's from Kansas. The Wichita Eagle reports the dog named Lucy, should be lucky, disappeared April 3rd while fenced in her yard. It turns out that Lucy had dug underneath a slab that was supporting the house's air conditioning unit. Owner Rebecca says her dog, Thor, she has two dogs, just like we have, Chingo, Champ, and Bingo. They have Lucy and Thor. Thor had acted interested in the spot where Lucy was buried, but it wasn't until last Thursday that she and her husband heard a quiet bark from under the concrete.
Wow.
Her husband dug deep enough to see Lucy's nose and one closed eye. He called 911 and firefighters helped extract her. The veterinarian said she's amazing. It's amazing that Lucy survived and she didn't suffer any organ failure.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible because I mean
Thor saved her life.
Humans, yeah, absolutely, and humans can't survive more than 3 days without water. How the poor dog did? She must have had some sort of water getting down to her. Or something.
Yeah. So, that's a happy story. So we're going to end it on a happy note.
On a happy note.
On a happy note, and with that happy note, Pat, why don't we tell people how they can follow us on Facebook and Twitter?
By following us on Facebook and Twitter.
There you go.
Just look up "Staying Up with Pat and Jodi" on Facebook, and it's on Twitter. It's at Stayin' without the G, Stayin' Up Pat Jodi, Stayin' Up Pat Jodi on Twitter, and of course, just look us up on YouTube as well. Just go on YouTube and type in "Staying Up with Pat and Jodi." Will pop up. The same thing with SoundCloud. So if you want the audio-only version, you go to SoundCloud. If you want the video version, you just go to YouTube. The SoundCloud version is usually up the same night that we record the show, and the YouTube version up the following day.
Awesome.
Easy to find.
And we want to thank you guys for listening to a great episode. Episode number 12, Pat. We're up to number 12.
We're lucky number 13.
We never made it this far when we were in Kiev, radio station Kiev in L.A. We never did 12. Wow, we're catching up to Mike and Vinny with DJ Drinking Coffee here, our friends.
Yeah, but they're all off on vacation now, so they're falling behind.
But no, they're coming back. Mike's coming back with a bang.
DDP is going to be on the show?
Exactly, and we will be back with a bang next time. Staying Up with Pat and Jodi, show number 13. Ooh. I think we're going to have to plan something really freaky for that.
Too bad it's not November. We could do like a Halloween version.
Yep.
And maybe we could, if it was a Friday the 13th and it was the 13th show, and it was that would be great.
No, we'll get somebody. Maybe I'll see if I can pull somebody out next. Well, we'll see what I can do. We'll see who I can book for next week. That's kind of creepy.
That would be hard. We're in Las Vegas. I wonder if we can find any creepy people in Las Vegas. Gee, I don't know.
I know quite a few creepy people, but
Holy smokes.
They're listening to the show right now going, I hope she doesn't call me next week.
If your phone rings and it's us.
You're creepy. All right, with that, make it fantastic, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.